Welcome back to Real Talk with Susan Stone and Kristina Supler. We are full-time moms and attorneys bringing our student defense legal practice to life with real, candid conversation.
A fun podcast today, Supler.
What are we talking about?
We are going to talk about decoding teen slang and trends.
Ooh, fun. I like it.
Yeah, before we launch into our podcast today, can I just say it is so flippin' cold out.
Oh my gosh. It is freezing out. To our listeners out there, we are in Cleveland where it's a balmy 4 degrees or 1 degree, depending upon the device you look at. And it is just frigid.
Okay, so hubby last night noted that there are now terms for cold, and it's been called an Arctic blast. Have you heard that? That we're experiencing?
I feel like I've heard like local weather people use different iterations of Arctic blast, Arctic freeze. I don't know.
All I know is I was trying to walk the dogs yesterday, and it was truly a miserable experience for me and the dogs. They didn't even want to go out and go to the bathroom. It was awful.
Funny, I had the same experience this morning when I took my 2 dogs out. It was like quick rush, take care of business and get back inside. But even inside, freezing.
Yeah, and didn't you have, what happened with your was your water heater, your power? What happened this weekend?
So Cleveland got a big storm over the weekend, and yeah, I didn't have power for 24 hours. So we were away, and it's fortunate that we were away, but it was a little nerve-wracking in terms of, I don't know, bad things happening in the house. Fortunately, my husband informed me that power has no impact on our heating system because we have steam, which I didn't really know.
I didn't know that.
Yes. But yeah, food in the fridge, all those fun issues that Midwesterners deal with, so on and so forth. But here we are today, and hopefully we've got something light and funny that can warm things up.
Yeah, you know what we did yesterday? I took my youngest and we went and saw Mean Girls.
Oh, I read about the like relaunch of that movie. I've never seen it. Tell me about it.
Well, I love the original, and the original was amazing. Rachel McAdams, Lindsay.
I was gonna say, isn't Lindsay Lohan in it?
Oh
That's
my
yeah,
gosh,
that's who comes to mind.
Yeah, and that was one of her long, and she's in the remake. But
how's she looking these days?
She's looking gorgeous.
Really good.
Yeah, shout out to you, Lindsay. You are aging fine. But I will say, Tori, my 18-year-old, did not like the movie at all.
Really? Why not? Had she seen the original or no?
No, she had.
Okay.
She just thought
the remake was not hitting her right?
No, she thought it was insulting to her intelligence.
Why is that?
Well, she felt like it didn't capture the original flavor of bullying, and she thought bullying is such an important topic that they sort of made fun of it and made light of it and made it seem ridiculous.
So let me ask you, was there any like redeeming message or takeaway for viewers of the movie? Any lessons to be learned?
I mean, it was the same lesson: be kind, be nice, blah blah blah. I'm not trying to put down be kind.
Sure, that's a good one, but it's a little basic.
But the way it was delivered, that's the word.
Basic.
It was basic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I wanted to love it. I wanted to because I love the original, and I know there's now the musical, and I love the musical.
You love a musical.
Oh my gosh. I mean, there isn't a musical that I don't rush and see.
I think it's so funny that we're talking about this because I have to imagine, well, and I've experienced that sometimes people think that as lawyers we're, reading the news and thinking about Supreme Court opinions and all these, intellectual things. And here we are. Hey, Supler, I saw Mean Girls yesterday.
But on to our topic about the way kids talk and how language changes. So I did a little research because truthfully, I forgot the fun terms I used when I was in high school or were popular in the 80s.
Okay, lay it on me.
Okay, ready?
I'm ready.
Got me with a spoon. Did you say that?
Never. No, I can honestly say no. I never said gag me with a spoon.
Ready?
Ready.
Eat my shorts.
That I'm familiar with through one Bart Simpson. You really
Correct.
said that? You said eat my shorts?
I didn't, but others did. And
I just, what does it really mean? Like,
do you think it means bug off? Maybe. I think that's what it means. Eat my shorts.
okay.
Yeah, whatever. And gnarly.
Now, okay, who doesn't know gnarly? Sure. I think gnarly's still kind of with us, the West Coast vibe a bit. I don't know.
So let's talk about some of the terms I didn't know that
Well-
were proposed by our fine marketing department.
Let me ask you though, what generation are you?
I am the beginning of Gen X.
Oh, okay.
80s, baby.
Sure.
Madonna, Vogue. You can't see me voguing. I'm voguing, guys.
Best music video ever. Ever. What's interesting about that is I think of myself as a Gen Xer, but actually I shudder to admit this. I don't want to admit this, but I must. I am technically the beginning of millennials.
There's nothing about you that's a millennial.
I don't identify that way. I really see myself as a Gen Xer, like the 90s vibe. But I guess according to the internet, according to Wikipedia or what have you, I'm technically a first year millennial. So
That's interesting. That I am a Gen Xer. I was a latchkey kid. And for those of you who don't know what that is, my mom went to work and I had a shoestring with a key.
you literally had a key on a shoestring?
I literally had a key on a shoestring.
I didn't know that was a real thing.
That's why they called it latchkey kid Supler. It's a real thing.
Well, I have to confess, I grew up in a house that we never locked. I never had a key.
That's a beautiful thing.
It actually is.
That's a beautiful thing. And I was the MTV generation. Who didn't remember Tabitha Sorensen? Oh, so cute. And I was on MTV once.
No.
Yeah, I danced.
Tell me more.
There's not that much to tell.
On the grind? Were you on MTV The Grind?
It was one of those shows you literally waited in line, and when they told you to dance, you danced. It's hilarious.
But was it The Grind? Yes or no?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Because I really hope that it was.
And my roommate in college had a picture of Ronald Reagan above her bed.
Now that is special. What, did she love him?
She loved
Was she attracted to him? Was he just a
Ronnie was hot. Ronnie was
sensible citizen? Oh my God. That is like the funniest thing.
Okay. So, guys, let's talk about some words and then we can respond of what this generation's saying. And I'm going to mispronounce it, but yacht.
I just can't with this one. With
Okay.
this one, I just can't. I am told. So for all of our listeners out there, I've only recently come to learn this word, this phrase.
Yeah.
And apparently it is a high compliment. It is a major, major compliment to give someone, indicating that their derriere is large.
Yeah, I asked my daughter, I'm like, do you know what yacht is? And she's like, ass. I'm like, oh, like, okay.
Yeah, so I guess it rhymes with squat or bought.
Or fiat.
And then it can also be, I guess, I'm told, an acronym for something about the backside being thick. I don't know.
I don't know, but I have to be honest. I've never heard it used in my house.
I've never heard it used. I've never seen it. I mean, in our work representing students, we read a lot of text messages and social media posts. I've never even read it in a text. So I personally am very circumspect about this word and its use and popularity. I feel like a journalist or someone, internet writer out there, just like made it up or heard one person use it and then said, oh, parents, hey, you need to know this word. And it's really not a
I
thing.
don't even like the way it sounds. But, I have a question for you. Why, when we read thousands of text messages in our case, what's the point of bruh, B-R-U-H?
I wish I knew. I wish I knew. I've got nothing for you on that. And we see it literally every day.
It seems
And it's
gratuitous.
constant. It's constant.
Bruh,
Like
bruh,
every
bruh.
other thing is bruh. And then the other question I have for you is LOL after everything. Even stuff that's not funny, you still put LOL, bruh. That you see a lot as well. And that is more with people, our clients who are a little bit older. It's not like high schoolers, but that I see all the time. And I feel like it's just a habit because it's literally like on text where there's not even something funny said.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I agree.
I think for parents, the key is, and parents out there, please don't say yeah. I mean, that would just be mortifying to your child.
Say, yeah, you really will look like a total loser.
Way to not mince your words.
I
Mince
know.
your words.
Okay, parents, try it. And then they'll tell your kids that you're a total loser.
Yeah, no, they won't. They won't want to go in public with you.
Okay, now this is all from our marketing department. So shout out to Amanda for doing the research on this. But the next word is.
Well, hold on.
Wait.
Drum roll, please. For the 2023 word of the year.
Riz.
Susan, what does Riz mean?
Charisma.
Oh, the ability to charm someone or woo someone. Now, have you ever, so I have not heard my children use this. My kids are a little bit younger. What, you have a senior in high school. Have you heard her use it?
No, I've never heard her use Riz, but I did, again, just like on Giat, I asked her, and she says it's more used in the negative, like she doesn't have Riz.
Oh, okay. Okay. I guess I see it. I don't know. Some of these things truly I feel like are just like made into things for internet writers to launch off on. But we'll have to and see if Riz continues on to 2024.
I don't think it's going to make it.
I'm inclined to agree. But let me ask you, the 2024's word that's going to become, plastered all over text messages, do you think it'll be like a compliment, an insult, a rhetorical turn of phrase? Where are you going with this?
No clue, guys. No clue. I don't know where I'm going with it.
Come on, bruh. Come on, bruh.
Bruh. But what I do know is that what's the point of this podcast is important. And it's because we don't want parents running around saying riz and quat and bruh.
Yes, let's be clear. We are not advocating for that on any level. We are talking about this, though, because I think it's just important for parents to know what these things mean. So I don't know, for instance, you go snooping, you read your kids, messages in their phone. It's sometimes you literally can't tell what they're talking about. And so it's important to know words and phrases.
Well, on our case, I have to say, I use the Urban Dictionary a lot.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can't deny having had to turn to it on more than one occasion. And also, I'll tell you what else I really am uninformed about and trying to do better with is emojis and what they mean.
Oh, those are hard.
Those are hard. I mean, obviously we know happy, sad, so on and so forth, but some of them are very confusing to me. And again, we go through texts and cases all the time, and it's like literally have to Google what certain emojis mean.
I didn't know, about peaches and eggplant. You had to tell me.
I was going to say, I definitely feel like I knew that.
You did. But I went to you and once it was explained, I kind of saw the peach.
You saw the booty?
I saw a tush. But it wasn't intuitive to me.
Sure. Sure. Well, and you have a very good vocabulary. So, you're pulling out your dictionary words, not Riz, but, the fancy dictionary words. And so
I do pride myself on that. And, I like to think of myself as a reader.
Sure. Me too.
I just started the new James McBride book. Good. Anyways, that's a sidetrack. Let's talk about one last topic of what's going on in teen trends, which is different. It's kind of like a redo from my gen. What is preppy?
Well, I think we've come full circle with our Mean Girls theme and redos, rehashing something out because Preppy is back and alive full well now. And it's
But it's
interesting.
different.
It is different. And I see Preppy. Now, this I have familiarity with through my daughter and her friends. And back in my day, growing up, when I thought I was a Gen Xer, but apparently I'm not, heartbroken. Preppy was like Lacoste, and you had your Gap Argyle V-neck sweaters, and
The Izod with the collar turned up.
pop the collar, baby.
Pop the collar, and Bermuda bags.
Oh no, I don't know what that is.
There were these cute little purses where you could change the outer side and little button them up, and they were little. They're cute.
Penny loafers, suede bass bucks. Do you remember those? That was hot in Catholic grade schools.
I didn't go to Catholic grade school, but I know you did. But yeah, Preppy was, and the Preppy handbook, that was really big.
I do not know what that is.
It was a book on how to be preppy. I mean, it was a how-to. But today, it seems very expensive what preppy is.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it probably was back in the day as well with, buying your Lacoste shirt and whatnot. But so for the youngsters now, it's interesting. It's sort of, I would say it's like a lifestyle. It's a look and a lifestyle.
Is it like Goop? A lifestyle brand?
Goop, yeah, I mean, kind of in a way, but Goop is for what, middle-aged women?
That'd be me.
So think lots of pink and
like Barbie pink?
Yes, Barbie pink, but before it was a thing before Barbie was the Barbie remake. Sure.
Pink.
Lululemon. There's no point getting dressed if you don't have on Lululemon.
But see, I think of Lululemon as middle-aged housewives.
Well, you think of it as athleisure.
I do.
And I do too, actually. But for the young ones out there, it's just what you wear. It's what you do. You always have your water bottle. You're carrying around your Stanley thing. But that's not like, I don't know. I funny enough, I was doing some reading the other day and came across something on like how Stanley got big. And it was a few like Instagram accounts that really made Stanley like become a huge thing more recently.
The Laneige
lip balm.
Yeah, I have
lip mask.
That. The lip mask
Yep.
is my daughter's.
Yeah.
The oldest one, hey Alex, bought it for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, shout out Laneige, especially now in this bad cold weather.
Yeah.
I really like it. Oh my gosh, I meant to ask you. You know how I bought you just as you're the best business partner in the world, Jones Road balm?
Yes.
I am loving it this winter. Do you notice I have a little on?
A little subtle glow.
A little subtle glow, but it does keep you moisturized in this weather. So I bought you that gift. Are you using it? I'm putting you on the spot.
Well, now that it's cold out, I might bring it back. In the summer, it didn't do me right. But now it might be time now that my skin's drier. I will tell you another example of like the penultimate preppy brand for girls now is the Aviator Nation sweatwear. And I actually, coincidentally enough, this weekend was driving and listened to the How I Built This podcast.
Oh, I love that guy, Raz.
Who doesn't?
Shout out to him too.
And they had on the founder of Aviator Nation, who, by the way, her brother was the founder of Tom's. Think about that family gene pool. Isn't that interesting? But Aviator Nation is essentially like very high-end sweatshirts, sweatpants, so on and so forth, known for like applique, essentially sewing on stripes of things like that.
I'm looking at it on a website because I didn't know about it. I don't get it.
Well, it's just like, it's a thing. What makes a sweatshirt worth $150? I couldn't really tell you, but kids want it. Parents are paying for it.
I don't get it.
I think it's like a status thing too, but it's supposed to be very like colorful. And again, it's a lifestyle. It's an aspirational brand, and the young ones are all about it now. So I don't know. Those are kind of like the key. I shouldn't say the key, but brands that come to my mind in terms of like what the tweens now are viewing as like preppy and what is preppy. And skincare, they're very into skincare.
Gosh. And I think that's a good thing.
Sure, why not?
I think that establishes really good lifelong habits, but I got to share something. In my day, it was either Gloria Vanderbilt or Jordache jeans.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I've got to tell you, my mother would not buy them for me. They were out of my family's budget. And I remember crying over it.
In my day, it was Guess jeans.
Yeah.
But you wanted the Gloria Vanderbilt pencil pouch. That was like the hot item at my school.
My parents didn't cater to that.
Mine didn't really, but like my mother understood why it was important to us. And so we always had to we had chores and allowance and we had to save our money and then we can go buy it ourselves. Yeah.
And you know what? I really try not to capitulate and rush out to every trend.
Sure. No, I think that, and that actually, by the way, I think those are words of wisdom for listeners of any age, because a trend is just that, a trend, here today, gone tomorrow. And so, I mean, if you're going to jump on board with a trend, go for it, but I wouldn't, do so in a expensive way.
No, because, we know what that creates.
And parents, we all know here today, gone tomorrow in terms of what our kids are interested in, what they want, so what they're saying, right?
And what they're saying. So for us, it's a necessity. We can't get through our job unless we can read their text.
Yeah, I mean, kidding aside, of course, this was obviously, we're being light with the topic, but truly there are often times in many cases where we're going through social media communication and there's text back and forth and they're really important. They're, relevant to the case and who did what, said what, when, where, so on and so forth. And we need to understand what's being said and we don't always.
Okay, bro.
Thank you, bro. LOL. Until next time.
Thanks for listening to Real Talk with Susan and Kristina. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to our show so you never miss an episode. And leave us a review so other people can find the content we share here. You can follow us on Instagram, just search our handle @StoneSupler. And for more resources, visit us online at studentdefense.kjk.com. Thank you so much for being a part of our Real Talk community. We'll see you next time.